Stenchuation.
Yo, what's crack-a-lackin'? This is Dr. Stank.
This is Fox the Funk.
The Stenchuation.
And we are Funk Junk.
Consider this an invitation to the Stenchuation.
Jewels and
It's about the grind, the hustle.
it's for you guys to know about us. That's what we want to do.
Consider this an invitation to the Stenchuation.
Y'all, to the Stenchuation. To the Stenchuation. Junk, that Funk Junk.
Yes,
That
sir.
Funk Junk.
My guys,
The beginnings.
toast to the boogie. A little bit of that num-num juice. Yes, sir. What's crack-a-lackin'? This is Dr. Stank, a.k.a. Smelly Von Stitch Nose, the stankiest. And I'm here with my brothers.
What's up? This is Fonks the Funk, aka about to give hip hop a much needed CPR.
Yes. And to my right, I have...
We got the Dove Chemist right here, always holding it down, always putting down them tracks, like always, for the Funk Junk.
Yes, sir.
That's how we do. That's how we do.
And welcome to the very first
Ever.
ever episode of the Stenchuation, which is our new podcast.
That's it.
You smell me?
Oh, yeah.
What we talking about today?
Yeah,
What
we're gonna
touching?
talk about the origins of the funk junk.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what we're doing with this. You know what I mean? Like, this has been a long time coming, so I feel like people need to know who we are. You know what I mean? Like, people around Riverside, they know about Stank, they know about funk junk, they know about Doomsday, but we need to tell them the origin story a little bit. Just give them a little bit of a background. You know what I mean? So I think this is a perfect opportunity. You know, on a nice Sunday afternoon, sipping on some nummy. You know what I mean?
The world needs to know.
Yeah.
The world needs to know.
So, yeah, man.
Let's hit him.
How y'all feeling, man?
Let's hit him. I'm good. I'm good.
Y'all good?
Yeah, it's
y'all
about go
good?
time now.
It's about go time. You know what I mean?
Grinding for the last year.
Yeah.
You know?
First single that's gonna be out. Fly AF. We just want everybody to know, and we'll get into that later on. But we want the world to be thinking and saying that they fly AF. Just to let y'all know.
Yeah. So let's back up a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's back up and let's talk about the origin story, or just kind of the beginnings of funk junk, and just kind of how we've gotten to this point to where we're at right now. Let's go back to, let's say 88, 89,
Let's do it.
around that time. You know what I
do it.
mean? So, not to date us, but you know what I mean? Like, we came up in the golden age. So it was a different time back then. This is pre-internet, pre-clout. Well, I ain't gonna say pre-clout, but pre-digital clout. You know what I'm saying? And we all came up in Riverside, California. We all went to high school together. We went to Poly High School, Riverside Poly High School, because I know there's a Long Beach Poly, but Riverside Poly High School.
That's right.
And we kind of like were always into music, not really in a serious type of form or fashion, but like just really just into music. D was in a band back then called the Neutrals, and me and Dre, we were just kind of doing. I guess we were just living hip hop culture. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
was
I
it.
was
We
rapping.
we was loving it.
Yeah.
We just B-boys. We was B-boys.
Yeah.
Straight up. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of new artists, right, they really don't know the essence of that whole B-boy, and that's that raw hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a difference. You got rappers, and then you got MCs, you got hip hop, you know, you got graffiti, you got breakdancing, that's the era we came up in right there.
Yeah, yeah. And so it was just a different time back then. You know what I mean? It was, I think back then the bar was higher. It just was. I mean, if you think about it, this is with people like KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane. Like, these are when they were in their prime, when they were at at the essence of creativity. You know what I mean? So as a young hip hopper or a rapper or something like that coming up, it's kind of like, you could only dream. It really was a pipe dream back then. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you could only dream of being able to rap as good as some of these dudes, or even to be able to be mentioned in the same breath as them. You know what I mean? And, you know, you got Tribe Called Quest. I mean, just all the greats that were in their prime at that time. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it was just a great time for music back then because it was just like,
it was evolving.
it was just evolving. You know what I mean? So for us, we were just kind of like lovers of the music, lovers of the art, lovers of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And so I think law of attraction, I just think people that think alike, people that are on that same wavelength end up, you know,
becoming one.
Becoming one.
Unit.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
That Voltron.
You know what I mean?
Straight Voltron.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And that's just what it was. Me personally, myself, I started out as just a straight b-boy, just breakdancing and stuff like that. I wasn't really into like being an MC and things like that. But just to take you guys back on how we got started, Stank and myself, we were doing this talent show. You know, it was just we were doing a talent show, and our boy, Stank was the rapper, and myself and my boy Jason, we were the dancers. And Jason ended up getting in trouble or some shit.
Yeah, I think he didn't have a good report card. Like the report cards came out like the day before, the day of the show.
Yeah.
We had practiced up until this point. We had the routine and everything. Then the report cards came out.
And Jason's mom was like, "You're not doing this."
Yeah, you ain't performing.
So you know, and that was the routine. You know, the dancing routine. So this is when dancing was big back then. So that was our routine. And Stank just looked at me. He was like, "Man, you just pick up the mic."
Yeah.
And ever since then, they ain't put it down. That's you know, that day Funk Junk was formed.
It was formed.
That
it
day,
really was. You know what I mean?
That day Funk Junk was formed.
Yep. And so through high school, you know, we did, you know, a couple other talent shows or whatnot. And then we graduated high school, you know, and from there it was just kind of like, man, what do we do? What do we do now? You know what I mean? And it was kind of like, do we get a job? You know, we went to RCC for a little bit, but I remember at the time, Dre's mom's worked at the phone company.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. Like, cause she was like, man, y'all should go up there and apply to get a job or whatever. And so we was like, all right. So we went up, and it was in, I think, was it Garden Grove or something? It was in Orange County or something like that. Pat Bell was what?
Yeah.
So we go up there, and everybody's like waiting.
It was a long line.
Yeah.
Like, people were applying, and it was a long line. And my mom was like, I can get you guys in there.
Yeah.
You know, the line was just long.
Yeah. And it was like, it was a good job too. You know what I mean? Especially for us coming up.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school. And then, so we were in the line just sitting there, and it was just taking a long time. And we were just like, man, we just looked at each other and was like,
let's go.
Let's go. We ain't doing this shit. This ain't what we want to do.
This ain't music.
We want to do music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's go.
So we just left. You know what I mean? And then we ended up getting a job at the ice company, Riverside Ice. That was like the first real job or whatnot. And then I remember we just started like getting more serious about the music. I ended up getting like a SP1200. My mom helped me get that. And then it was like, that was like my first piece of equipment. You know what I mean? And at the time it was like me, Dre, and DJ KMP. DJ KMP is one of the world famous DJs from the IE. He's also E40's DJ right now. It's his show DJ. But at the time he was our DJ or whatnot, and he was doing beats too. You know what I mean? And so I just knew that making beats was something that I wanted to do. Finally got the drum machine and just started banging beats out. It just was something that just came natural to me. So I had an SP1200. I was just banging out beats every day. You know what I mean? And our first demo, we had about 5-6 songs, something like that in our first demo. And I remember we would just shop our stuff. We would just go to the record company.
Go to the label. We'll just go to the label and just go in.
Yeah.
We'll act like we work there. We say we work in the mail room. Just that was grinding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was grinding. It wasn't like this internet stuff right now. We just had to get creative. We used to call the labels and act like we were somebody, and so we can get put through to whoever was the head A&R back then, you know. So that's our definition of grinding. We used to go to shows and throw our tapes or CDs or whatever on stage to whatever artist was performing in hopes that they would pick it up and listen to it and be like, hit us up, you know. So that grind was always there.
And when he says demo tape, he means tape.
Yeah.
It wasn't no damn CD, it was a tape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like our first demo was on a cassette. And so I remember one time we went up to, I believe it was Buzztone or Immortal. It was one of them. But we had been looking like on the inside credits of like Cypress Hill albums and stuff because it was hot back then. And then we went to like Buzztone. It was on Robertson's Road. It was either Buzztone or Immortal. And we just walked in there one day. And this dude named Adrian Miller, like, he came out. I was like, hey, man, we got this group called Funk Junk. Hey, man, we got a demo, man. We want you to peep it out.
Right.
And I remember that was the first dude who like was like, okay.
Let me hear it. Like,
came in, went in his office. He listened to every one of the songs front to back, every single one of them. Like, I'll never forget. That was the best look.
Shout out to Adrian, by the way.
Shout out to Adrian. Now he's Anderson .Paak's manager, I believe.
Yeah.
But back then, that was such a good look. So he listened to all of our stuff and he was like, you know what? Y'all dope. He was like, y'all dope. But at the time, we didn't have no hooks.
It was just,
we was just rapping over beats. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we didn't have no song structure. That was, to this day, was the best gem that I could have ever got from anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me go out there and learn song structure. And the way that I produced after that, it was a totally different game. You know what I mean? I made sure we had bridges or hooks, whatever it was. You know what I mean? We had hooks. And we had songs from then. All right. So it was just a good look. And then from there, one day, Dion used to throw a lot of parties and stuff. And Dion was he had a crib over in Cane Crest. And so we went to one of his parties and he had his drum set up in the garage. And I remember he was just like, yeah, man. He was like, man, I'm just in between bands. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we rock out. And so, so for some reason, we just ended up in the garage. The party kind of gravitated in there. We was just rapping and he was on the drums. Yeah. And then from that day, he was like, man, we should do something. You know what I mean? And so
we were like, yeah, all right.
Right.
But then we're like, damn, maybe we should.
Maybe we should.
The shit was sounding dope.
It was sounding dope. So we had the Funk Junk stuff, and from that point, that's where Doomsday was formed. So Doomsday was kind of like a rock fusion. It's kind of like Funk Junk, but in rock form, more in the lines of like Rage Against the Machine or something like that.
Right.
So we just started like getting in, jamming, practicing.
Playing shows
everywhere. And then
hold up, fellas.
yeah. We kind of
fellas. Hold up. Funk Junk on ours. Funk Junk.
Close to the boogie.
Fly AF. I'm letting y'all know. Fly AF.
Yeah, it is.
Cheers, fellas.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So, welcome back to the Stenchuation. Funk Junk here.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah. So the stench. So that's basically an idea. You know what I mean? It's kind of an idea that I kind of came up with that it has to do with the legacy that you leave behind. You know what I'm saying? So like for us, we're a little bit older. You know what I mean? So we've been in this music, since the 90s. Grinding in this, you know what I mean? So I think our why now is a little bit different than it was back in, 92 or whatever. You know what I mean? Back then we was trying to get on, murder MCs on the mic, get all the girls we can get or something like that. But now it's more of, what can we leave behind with what we're building right now for our kids, for our families, for our loved ones, for our friends, and for just people that we can inspire. So the stench, of course, it's, we're funk junk, so it has something to do with being funky, being original, but really on another level, it's about the stench. It's something that lingers. It lingers behind. It's the legacy you leave behind. It's what you can give back to.
And that's the slogan.
Yeah.
Leavers of the stench.
Leavers of the stench.
That's it. That's the slogan right there. Just so everybody know.
And so this is the situation, and just for the, it's just a little play on words for the stenchuation. Oh,
that's it.
Yeah.
Why do we feel like it's different? What's everybody's why right now?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my why is more of just is just having this not be for nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. We've had some ups and downs. We made a little bit of money, lost a little bit of money.
Right.
And so now it's more about this not being for nothing, and also to show people you can still do it. I think the best thing in terms of the internet and how the game is now is that it's wide open for anybody. You can be a rapper who has nails as your hair, you know what I'm saying? Or, that sounds like a rocker or sometimes raps, and people will accept that. You know what I'm saying? You can be different. You can be a Tyler, the Creator, or you can be a Lil Yachty and still make your mark in this game. And then you could be a Benny the Butcher or Conway the Machine and still make your mark in this now. Now I think it's more wide open, as in the past it was more you kind of you had to fit into a certain box.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever that was, whether it was underground gangster rap or pop, you know what I'm saying? Now it's just a little bit more open. So people that are our age, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say, how old, but I'm just saying people that are older.
And I think this is the only genre that reflects on that, reflects on age and stuff like that. Country, fuck, you can be 60 and put out an album,
Yeah.
Any genre. I think hip hop, I don't know why, but hip hop has that where if you're 30 years old or 35 years old, you're too old.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that's true. I don't. I have an issue with that. That's just me personally. Yeah. I have an issue with it. But, it is what it is. I feel like part of my why is just coming back. We've had record deals before, you know what I'm saying? We were signed to Bad Boy at one point, first West Coast group on Bad Boy, so yeah. We've had, success as far as our grind, but I feel when you're in a day-to-day job, and this is just me personally, when you're in a day-to-day job, that every other week paycheck, it detours you from your overall dream, from going after your dream. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, they're they forget their dreams because they end up getting a good job and they're oh, forget my dream. So that was kind of my situation. Had a cool job and I was I'm kind of cool with this right now. Mm-hmm. But getting back with these dudes, I realized, that money, that's nothing. Let's follow your dreams. You know, everybody follow y'all dreams. I'm telling you, that's the why right there. Everybody, everybody has a situation, but we call them stenchuations. Mm-hmm. So, I can go back to the whole Bad Boy thing. Our situation / stenchuation with that was, we had a demo. Our boy JD, handed it off. He was playing it, but if you want to dive into it, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good one. Yeah, so basically, we used to record at this studio in Hollywood called Art of Noise. All right, so with our boy Eric Arm. So that was our headquarters. We recorded everything there, Funk Junk, Doomsday. We did everything at Art of Noise recording studios. And so one time we went in there, we did like a batch of songs because we would go in there and do like maybe 5 or 6 songs at a time or whatnot. So we went in there and recorded this demo. And then our manager at the time went to a music conference the next day after we recorded that demo. So when he went there, he met this dude named JD.
Right.
And JD, or Clever as he calls himself now, like, shout out JD, man, for real, for real.
Shout out JD. JD, this for you.
This for you, dog. So JD was one of those guys who used to kind of like navigate in the industry. This dude was like, knew everybody. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, like knew Pac, Biggie, like everybody. He just knew everybody in the game. And my manager, Bobito, happened to run into him at this conference. Gave him the demo. I guess later that night, JD ended up in the studio where Puffy was at. And so he's in the parking lot bumping this joint. Puffy comes out to take a break or something, hears the music and was like, who the fuck is that? And he was bumping our song. He's bumping this song we had back then called Hot Shit. He was like, who the fuck is that? JD's like, oh, this is my boys, Funk Junk. We hadn't even met JD yet.
Yeah, we didn't even know him.
You know
yet,
what I mean?
He
was like, oh, this is my boys, you know? He was like, call him up. He was like, I want to sign him. He was like, he didn't have our numbers, but he had Bobito's because he had just met Bobito that day. So he calls Bobito. Bobito was like, whatever. He was like, man, this is Puffy. He was like, man, I want to sign your group Funk Junk. He was like, whatever, man. He was like, this ain't no fucking Puff Daddy. He was like, call me in the morning. You know what I mean? He was like, dude, this really is Puff Daddy. He was like, dog, no, it's not. He was like, you know what? I'm going to call your boy. He said, he going to be mad as hell that you didn't answer the phone. He was like, whatever, man. He goes, call him then, or whatever. Hung up the phone. I guess, I don't know if he got my number. I don't know if it was on the CD or something like that.
It was on the CD.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Called me up. It just so happened that that day was my birthday. And I had just left Dre's crib, or the headquarters. It was, we used to call it the headquarters. It was him and the homies had a crib. It was my birthday. Everybody had to work the next day. So it was kind of like everybody went home early or whatnot. I get this call. He's like, yo, this Stank? I was like, yeah, this Stank. He's like, what up, man? This is Puff Daddy. I was like, whatever, Dre.
He thought it was me.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's this dude.
He think it's me.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about it at this point.
Yeah. I was like, whatever, Dre. He's like, no, man, this really is Puff Daddy. I'm telling you. Then he was like, man, I'm serious. I just got your song from this dude, JD. He was like, man, y'all is dope. I want to sign you. I was like, then I kind of started listening to his voice, and then he starts playing the song that we had just recorded. So I'm thinking like, wait a minute. He wouldn't have this song. You know what I'm saying? If this, you know what I mean? If it really wasn't him, I'm thinking like, it's either Dre really messing around, or this is Puff Daddy. So I was like, is this really Puff Daddy? He's like, yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, I just got your demo, man. It's dope. And then I was like, listen to his voice. I was like, man, this could be Puff Daddy. I was like, man, put that on something. He was like, man, I put that on B.I.G. I never forget that day. He was like, man, I put that on B.I.G. I was like, man, this really is fucking Puffy. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm at the record plant right now. He was like, I'm out here doing a remix for Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
He was like, I want y'all to come tomorrow and play me some stuff. He was like, man, I want to sign y'all. He said, this shit is too hot. I hung up the phone. I was like, I just sat there for a minute like, I can't even believe what the hell just happened. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Call up Dre. I was like, Dre, man, I just talked to fucking Puff Daddy.
And you know what I said?
He was like, yeah, right.
Fuck up, quit playing.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Quit playing around.
Yeah.
Quit playing.
I was like, dog, I'm serious. I just talked to Puffy right now. He just called me right now with this dude named JD. So, needless to say, called off work. The next day, all three of us went up to Smashing Pump. To the record plant, met Puff Daddy.
Well, next thing you know, we was in the studio.
But
But that's just that's just one of the, you know, just a stenchuation that we were in.
Yeah.
You know, it's more to the story or whatnot, but that's just one of the things we were in. So y'all hit us up, DM us. Let us know some of y'all situations,
Your
some
stenchuation.
Stenchuations, you know, let
what
us
I mean?
know some of y'all. So we, you know, we want to hear them, you know, so DM us and let us know.
At Funk Junk. Oh. Yeah, so after all this time, why do you feel it's important for us to come back into the game?
I think we got some unfinished business. Me personally, we got some unfinished business. I feel like we're older and we understand the game better. It's about ownership now. You know, we own everything.
Yeah.
It's about ownership. It's about building an industry. Stench Industries is the pillar, and that's the plan.
Yeah.
And you know, that's why we're coming back.
Right.
You know, just unfinished business. D, what you think? You quiet over there. What you think?
We can actually rely on ourselves now. You know, it's like I went in the lab 3 years ago and started just creating on my drums, creating beats, creating stuff, you know, down here in the living room, knowing like we'd been so close so many times and dealt with everybody, played with everybody, you know, and you know, been right there, man. And so it was like, it was our time, man. It was like I kept creating, thinking, I want to open my own label. I don't have to walk my CD in anymore to record stores, or I don't have to take my tape down there or whatever it might be, or get so close. I already knew we had the sound. I already knew we had the drive. I already knew we had everything, but it took 3 years for me to get the rust off, man. I was rusty. Kids don't, people don't realize these days, you know, these kids are really good, but, you know, they gotta, you know, it takes time to put into your craft.
It takes some time.
Yeah.
So I just kept grinding. And finally, after like 2-3 years, I sent Stank like an 8-song demo. And then he was like, I got like little pieces. After 3 years, okay, I'm grinding.
I was like,
After 3 years, he said, I like a little bit of it.
Well, let me come over to your house and talk to you personally.
Yeah.
He came over and, you know, kind of said, hey, I like it enough that I want to put it back together. And that's when I gave him the idea of, if we're going to do it, you know, and we both did the idea ourselves, let's just create our own label.
Yeah.
Let's create our own merch line. Let's create, you know, let's get out there in the industry right now and develop something that we can share with other kids and other, you know, people coming up. We can sign artists after our stuff blows, which Fly F is dropping in January.
That's right.
And it's about ready to go down.
And just to touch, you know, just to piggyback off that, this is the time to where being an independent artist, it's the shit. That's the cool thing.
Yeah.
But when we started, being an independent artist wasn't a cool thing.
Yeah.
If you had to be like on a major, like on a major label for it to be cool. But now, dog, it's all about, like I said, we've learned the game. It's all about ownership and that independency. Like that's just being independent. So for us, that's just, you know, it works for us.
Well, it's the only way. I mean, if you really want to like really make a stamp in the game, if you really want to make some real money,
right,
you're gonna have to like have some type of ownership in something. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was more for like when we wanted to get a record deal, it was basically for us to be able to say, yeah, we on Bad Boy, or we're on Def Jam, or we're, you know what I'm saying? Like we did that because nobody that's not something that comes every day. You know what I'm saying? Where now it's just the kids now are just smarter. It's like, and it should be like that.
That's
like
it.
if you look back from like when, let's say like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 and Sugar Hill and all them. You know what I'm saying? Like they were kind of like they were in the beginning stages of that, and then it evolved, and now it's 50 years later. Like people should have ownership. They should be able to like make money off of their craft. They shouldn't be getting fucked, you know what I'm saying? Just because they want to be a rapper for a living. They shouldn't have somebody that says, okay,
You
I'll
shouldn't
take
have-
90% and you take 10.
You shouldn't have a #1 record out there and owe the major label $2 million.
Yeah, or you shouldn't have
You shouldn't
5
be in
billion
debt like that.
spins and make fucking $30,000 from it.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? Like it should be something to where you own it and you're going direct to consumer, or you're in a situation where it's fair. Even if somebody is helping you, if you have somebody that's backing you, it should be fair. It shouldn't be like, yeah, we're about to make money off of this idiot. You know what I'm saying? It should be like we're partnering rather than we own you. You know what I'm saying? And I think like back then we were just young. You know what I'm saying? Like we wanted to just be stars. Now it's like we're older, we're smarter, more business minded. And it's kind of like, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We ain't stupid. We're not gonna let somebody just fuck us for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So,
And we can help a lot of people. You know,
Yeah.
DM us. I'll tell you how to write a song. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what it's like to write a song. It's easy to bust. It's easy to write simple music in your garage, but can you write songs?
yeah.
And
That's what
song
makes
song
it
structure is key. You're right, D.
And
Yeah.
Song
you don't
structure
have
is
to,
key.
It's easy for people to write, and go down in their garage and jam for 6 to 8 minutes on different drum tracks and different drum things. But can you write a 3-minute hit? Can you write a song that's simple, that people love, it's infectious, that people go, I love that. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And that's key because
That's
in the beginning, we just like we wanted to kill the mic.
Yeah.
Like I didn't care about song structure or like making a song. I just wanted to be one of the best MCs out there. That was it was I didn't care about a song.
Yeah.
I'ma just spit a dope 16 and then let's make a hook or like scratching or something. But like Stank sat me down and he was like, man, this is how we got to do it. We don't have to be the dopest MCs on these songs no more. Let's make dope hits. Let's make songs.
Yeah.
I mean, a prime example of it is we record our video for Fly AF, which is dropping in January.
Y'all be ready for Fly
Yeah,
AF.
all right.
I don't care. We gonna keep saying that.
We record the video.
Hold up. Fly AF.
And within a few breaks of breaking the song to reset up different elements of the video, different styles of the video, once it was played again, instantly everybody's singing the chorus, everybody's singing the hook. Nobody had the lyrics, nobody knew the lyrics, but that's what writing a song is about.
Exactly.
Structure is about, that people can feel it by. We looked around and the whole place is vibing it. We hadn't told anybody about it. We were just releasing it right there. And so,
Well, I think the greats, if you think of any of the people that you really resonate with, let's just say in hip hop, you think of Jay, you think of Nas, you think of Eminem, you think Busta Rhymes, you think of any of the great, the Outkast, any of the great people, they have classics. And it's that simple. Classics last longer. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can rap. Anybody. You know what I'm saying? I can teach somebody to rap right now. You know what I mean? It's always better. I can teach you right now.
Vanessa, give
Well,
Vanessa.
yeah,
Big
yeah.
plug.
I'm just saying, like, but at the end of the day, the thing that is going to set you apart is what people can remember you by. And in music, they're going to remember you by a song. You know what I'm saying?
Longevity is key.
They're going to remember you by the songs that, like, I don't care how many antics that you have. I don't care how much clout chasing you do or how many things you do. At the end of the day, the only thing, or I'm not saying the only thing, but the thing that matters the most is the music, period. We're getting so far away from what the music industry really is. It's music. You know what I'm saying? It's all, now it's like, okay, even like, you know, you got to have content, you got to have whatever, you got to have all this stuff to support it. But it's kind of like, okay, but the music is the music still. You know what I'm saying? A good song is a good song. And the artists that last are the ones that have classics. And I'm not saying like you have to have a pop hit. I'm saying like, if you think about any type of like group back in the day that had like, let's say, let's just take Busta Rhymes. I don't care if he stopped making songs today. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, he could still tour.
Buster's dope.
Because he has classics.
Classic.
Just because he has classics, he has great songs.
Thanks answering the question. That's why we're coming.
That's why we're coming.
Because we have classics.
Yeah.
We have a roster of real songs with structure and hits. And they're going to start dropping come 2024 all year long.
Yeah.
And we've put in
nonstop.
And it's taken 3 years to write these, not 3 weeks, not 3 months. And they've gone back and forth many times, but that's what it takes, I feel, to write a real classic and real songs that resonate with people.
Best hip hop song of all time.
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
I mean,
it's so many good songs out there, but
that's a really good question.
Damn.
But I'm gonna tell you my favorite, probably
mine is KRS Rapture. That's to me, that says hip hop all over it. That it has, I mean, he's spitting on it. It has to do with graffiti. It has that breakdancing feel to it. To me, that's one of my favorites as far as like overall. That song defines hip hop to me.
I would have to say, it's a mix up between two songs. The first one I would say, Still Dre by Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
And just because to me, it's every element, it just checks the box. Number one, the beat is a slapper, but it's simple. Not basic, it's simple, because there's a difference between simple and basic. Simple is hard. You know what I'm saying? Basic is easy. That's just some basic shit. But simple, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Bars, beats, and it was a hit. You know what I'm saying? And I would say my other one, They Reminisce Over You by Pete Rock and CL Smooth. I just think to me, it just embodies the essence of like that whole era. You know what I'm saying? The early 90s and just kind of like, it just has a feel to it that is just so warm and so just like rooted in vintage, like, it just has a vintage feel to it. It's just so like, from the video to the lyrics. And what's so crazy is that song doesn't even have a hook to it. And it's just so like
The sample.
it's a you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like people will sing that. There ain't no hook. They'll sing that part of it. I mean, to me, like, it's a great song. You know what I mean? Like, but there's countless, man. There's so many great hip hop songs.
There's so many dope hip hop songs out there. Like, but I'm telling you, you go to just a straight hip hop show and you throw on KRS Rapture, that shit gonna have
it's going up.
Everybody head.
It's going up.
Nodding.
It's
That's my shit.
I'm different than that. Mine is straight out. It's always the Beasties.
There it is.
You know, it's instrumentally, they're phenomenal. You know, I'll always remember when I saw them live and they played 8 songs, you know, with Mixmaster Mike and did it all that way and then came out and played 8 songs live. Same set.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's always gone down musically of just, from everything from, Paul's Boutique, that album of all those different samples, all the way to So What You Want, all the way to the first stuff, License to Ill. It's just, that's how I like to create music, kind of a mixture of instruments, a mixture of, hip hop elements, everything, it could be metal elements, it could be, that's where Doomsday came in and stuff. But, and now we've circled back to Funk Junk being a 3-piece.
Yeah. And we're just doing it. It's all still family. Like we've been doing music.
Pure hip hop now.
Yeah. Just music is music, man. Love for music. You know, y'all hit us up, DM us and let us know. Shit, what's one of you guys' all-time favorite hip hop songs? Let us know. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear. I want to see who can compete with KRS Rapture. Let me know. I know everybody gonna
There's
be
a
saying
bunch of them,
stuff.
dog. There's so many. There's so many bangers out there. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yo. Welcome back.
Stenchuation.
Welcome back to the Stenchuation. Very first episode. Stank here. Funk's the Funk. Dub Chemist up in here. So wanted to hit a little bit on just kind of the art of being independent and kind of putting yourself out there on your own terms. You know what I'm saying? Like for those of you who don't know, we just started a label called Stench Noise.
Noise Records.
Yeah. So basically it's me, Dub Chemist, and Funksta, and we're all equal owners in the label. And it's just a platform for us to do what we want to do. You know what I mean? I think every single time, I've had a solo deal as Dr. Stank. I had a deal with Dre with Funk Junk. We've had publishing deals and stuff like that. But I think like every time that we would go to a certain point, and then it would be something that's out of our control that kind of like, snatches the carpet from under our feet. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I think, number one, for me at least, I know I don't ever want that to happen again. I don't want my future to be contingent on someone other person's taste or something like that. I want to be able to make my own decisions in what I want to do in music and what I want to create. And I don't want no fucking nerd coming in talking shit or being some fucking, you know what I mean? Or just, I don't know. It's just some shit that happens where it's like, okay, Funk Junk can't do it anymore. Basically, or something like that.
You want to be in control of your own situation.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking to all you independent artists out there. It's a good thing that you want to be independent. Be in control of your own situation, because at the end of the day, no one's gonna love your craft like you love it. You go sign to a label, they're not gonna love your music like you love it. So, if we fail, then, I'm good with that, because we rocked it. And I know we put in 100% of full sweat and blood, sweat, tears to this, Yeah. So it's good to be in control of your own shit, period. If you have the capital to do that, some people might have to go a different way. But, that's why we're here. We want to be that independent label that once we blow, we want to help everybody else reach that pinnacle as well. We want them to blow as well. So, be on the lookout for Stench Noise for sure.
But, you got to know what your strengths are too. You got to, it's not for everyone. Like, being an independent label is hard, man. It's not like, okay, I'm independent and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means that there's nobody else that's helping you. You are the label. You got to do all the work. You got to get the engineer to engineer your stuff. Or if you don't produce, you got to get a producer. You got to pay that producer. Yeah. Depending on the things you can't do, you got to get somebody to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like being independent doesn't mean that like it's easier. It just means you have more freedom and you're more in control, but the buck stops with you. So if you're like, if you go 2 weeks without, making songs, or you go fucking whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you just kind of lazy or you don't want to do shit,
you got to push the needle.
That's on you.
You got to make the needle move.
So it's not just like an easy way out. It's more common now just because more people are hip to the game, more people, and you got stuff like, you got a lot of streaming platforms. So if you do own your stuff, you make good songs, you could probably make some money. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put in the work, man. So it's not just, some people, it might be better to have a record deal, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to make sure your business is right. Because if your business ain't right, you're going to get taken. You know what I'm saying? So, when you hear a lot of these people, these artists out here, and it's like, they sold millions or whatever, but now they're broke, or they sold millions and they didn't make any money off of it. You know what I mean? It's because most of the time it's because either
Business
somebody
right.
else wrote the songs and they own the publishing to the songs. So the song did blow up, but the percentage of that would have went to you went to the person who actually wrote the song or the person who owns the song, which is another story. So, you know what I'm saying? So if the label owns the song and Joe Blow wrote the lyrics to it and you were just a performer on there, then guess what? A lot of that money is going to go to them and you may get a little bit if you've recouped or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, it's better to own your stuff outright.
And it's not easy. It's not easy to be independent. Like we send each other, and I'm pretty sure all you guys out there probably do the same. Like I wake up in the morning and look at motivational stuff on Instagram, and I send it to these dudes just to keep our spirits up and our motivation going. And you know, hopefully somebody hearing this can do the same thing. Send this to whoever they're partners with, or even if it just touches you in a sense of where, you know, I needed to hear that. You know, keep going, keep grinding, doing what you do.
And one other thing I just want to put out there, like, you know, recently, and this just happened a couple of days ago, but one of our close friends passed away or whatnot. My whole thing, like with us, the reason we're doing this is because number one, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're older and it's kind of like, it's either now or never. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a little bit older or whatnot. But the second thing is, like, don't overthink stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, overthinking is just going to stop you from doing it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who have talent, but like Dre said earlier, they're working a day job because they don't really believe that something can come from it. I'm here to tell you right now, just do it. Just put it out. Put the music out. Record like, this is our first podcast. Never did a podcast. We're just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just on the whim.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
out doing it.
We're uncomfortable doing it, but we're doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
it.
I'm here to say, like, tomorrow is not promised.
Hey,
so just do it.
Get comfortable being
do it
uncomfortable.
Now. Real talk.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. To that. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
We got our first single coming out next month. Called Fly AF. Yeah. You know, we did a few songs, you know, well, this past year we done a bunch of songs or whatnot, but I think that's the one that resonated the most. I
think the world can be able to feel that song.
Yeah.
You know, it's that confidence. It's a confidence booster. It's a, you know what, shit, I'm Fly AF, you know, it's shit. We don't need cosigns. Say less.
Right. So the way that came about is just that. You know what I'm saying? I saw a video on Instagram that was basically like a dude getting turned down until she saw that he, you know, drove a Ferrari or something like that. And then she's circling back trying to get in the Ferrari or whatnot. And the dude's like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out. So this song is basically not just from a guy getting turned down from a girl, but anybody that's just getting like, turned down in any type of, I don't care if you're shopping a record deal.
It could be a job interview.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
It could be anything that you're getting turned down from.
It's basically,
you know what I mean?
Keep your head up and keep that self-confidence.
You know what I'm saying? So basically the video, I mean, the hook is like, I'm Fly AF. I don't need cosign. Say less. It's basically saying that regardless, I'm still Fly AF. I'm going to still do my thing. Like, I don't care. Like, you could turn me down, whatever. I'm going to go get the next one. Or I'm going to get it anyway. Like, I may get 15 people that turn me down, but the 16th one, I'm getting that money. I'm going to get that break. I'm going to get that, you know, like, who would have ever known that a group from Riverside would be signed with Bad Boy in that time, back in 98 or something like that? That's just constant persistence and just grinding and getting after it day after day after day after day. Eventually you're going to break in. If you stay, like, you stick to your guns, like, you're going to get there. You know what I mean? And that's what Fly AF is about. It's just like, I'm Fly AF no matter what. I don't care what you say. You can sit here and spit in my face. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm Fly AF. I don't need your cosign. Say less.
It's just
That's Fly AF.
you just smooth. You doing it. Like
Yeah.
on one of the bars, I say super smooth without nothing to prove. I'm flying in the Eagle gliding in some wingtip shoes. So I'm letting y'all know that's how fly I am. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You know.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That's
To
how
being
we live
fly,
our
to
life.
being fly,
To
to
being
being
fly.
fly AF. That's how we
Yeah.
gonna do.
Label,
That's it.
fly, everything, you know?
Yeah.
Everything
So
we do.
Lifestyle.
And it makes you feel good. You know, it's something that you look in the mirror when you're getting ready to go out, you know, at night, or you want to do something in the morning, or you want to go about your job, whatever. You look fly. You feel fly about your life. You feel good about
Feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You go to the gym. You go to the gym and you know after that workout, you feel like that pump, like shit. I'm looking in the mirror and shit. You know, I'm fly AF.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
so
it's just, you got to have confidence whatever you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like most of the time the odds are against you, or you're like, for instance, we're starting a record label. We're starting a clothing company, and we're coming out and we're a little bit older. It's like the odds are already against us.
stacked against
We
us.
got to have the confidence to be able to go. So Fly F is just kind of like, that's our ode to ourselves. Just kind of like, hey, keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Fly F is about.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's go time now.
It's go time.
Already
It's go time.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, baby. Yes,
That's
sir.
it.
Yo, just want to thank y'all for tapping in with us.
Stenchuation.
On the first episode of the Stenchuation.
Yes, sir.
Just want to thank all y'all junkies out there for rolling with us. You could tap in with us on Instagram at Funk Junk. That's at FUNCJUNC. At FUNCJUNC. Tell them a little about the merch, dog.
We got merch dropping, all our music merch. You know, we got the Funk Junk socks.
You know what I mean?
Y'all get these. Rock these Funk Junk socks. We got the Funk Junk tees.
Yes, sir.
Just to let y'all know.
With the logo.
Funk Junk tees.
You know,
Get it.
you know,
We got the Funk Junk hats.
yeah, you know, and we got the the grown man worker wear shirt.
There it is.
You know what I mean, with the junkie logo on there, with the signature junk logo.
We also got beanies. We just got hoodies coming.
Yeah.
The hoodies is off the hook. So you know, tap in now, man. Rock with us before the world says it's okay to rock with us. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Rock with us now.
Yeah, so at Funk Junk or funkjunk.com as well.
And you can buy the merch on funkjunk.com too.
Yes.
On the e-commerce site.
Yes, so remember, Funk Junk, Stench Noise is the label, Stench Industries is the clothing, Funk Junk is the merch, Funk Junk is the group. Oh, wait.
Signing out.
Yes,
Funks
sir.
the Funk.
Dr. Stank.
And the Dub Chemist.
We out.
Yes, sir.